Welcome back to the Gracefully Wild Soul podcast. Today we are going to talk about the energy for the month of July. All right, let's hop right in. Welcome to the Gracefully Wild Soul podcast. I'm KIRSTEN, a mother and soul guide, and this is a space where your soul is witnessed and the frequency of your heart is felt. Together, we will have intimate conversations about the essence of life, the beauty of your soul's path, and our evolution as women and as mothers. Through channeled words, lived experiences, and the wisdom of nature's rhythms, the soul, and the sacred feminine, this is where the gracefully wild woman begins to rise. So before I share the messages, the energy, just the vibes for the month of July, I actually wanted to mention two things because I will most likely forget at the end of this recording. So I'm going to do it before. The first being that I will continue to offer pre-recorded soul readings through summer, but I will not be offering any live readings. So just keep an eye on the calendar if you want a live reading. I will be updating my calendar once we come back to school and we're hopping into the fall season. But in the meantime, I will be doing pre-recorded readings, and those are just as potent and beautiful. I record them. It's a voice note. You'll also get some notes from me as well. And yeah, you can find the link in the show notes or on soulbabe.com. And the second announcement that I have is that I am in the midst of finalizing details for my first in-person retreat. Yay! Oh my God. I can't contain myself. So this will be in November of 2026. And I will go ahead and drop in the show notes a link for you to get on kind of the 411 list, as things roll out. But it will be in November of 2026, and it will be in the Pacific Northwest. So themes and all the goodies that are going to be incorporated into the retreat will be revealed soon. I'm just finalizing some things, but if you're curious, if you're interested, and you just want to know more as I finalize, drop your email into the link and I will be sure to connect with you. Okay, let's get into the energy for the month of July. Well, I'm going to preface this conversation with one thing. The month of July is a really interesting month. And I had this kind of wild experience in the Akashic Records, and I was really weaving back and forth, and I was being pulled in multiple directions. And when I looked back at the messages and kind of the overall energy for the month of July, the theme that really resonated with me, that kind of popped off, was this idea that we are really anchoring into the human experience in the month of July. And I say that because the human experience has this tug and pull motion. It has these, roller coaster moments, these highs and these lows and everything in between. And it's all incredible. And I know that sometimes when we're in the thick of the branches and we feel like, things are getting kind of thrown our way, it doesn't feel wonderful. It doesn't feel beautiful. But this is truly the medicine of the human experience. And so I'm going to share these messages and kind of the overall themes that were coming forward for the month of July. But when I really anchor into it, it is the story of our existence. And there's going to be a lot that's going to unfold in the month of July. So we want to just continue to anchor into our hearts, to continue to feel, to continue to hold on to the beauty of life. And there is so much beauty, even in those difficult moments. And so that's kind of the overall theme for the month of July. So as I kind of dropped into the Akashic Records and, really anchored into what we are working with in this month, it was really about finding our greatest joys and also understanding that those challenges and those moments of grief or sadness live on the same spectrum of joy and love and happiness. And this is the kind of seesaw experience that we have as humans. And it is a reminder that the beauty of our expression really spans in so many different ways. It has a range. It has this octave where we start somewhere and then we move, and that can be high and low. And so I just saw this expression as humans and really anchoring into that expression as the spectrum of emotions, the spectrum of being present, the spectrum of seeing, the most incredible gift of a child being born to the moment where we say goodbye to a loved one that we're not ready to say goodbye to. And so really that cycle of life, rebirth, death, that was, I would say the vibe that I continued to receive as I was in the Akashic Records for the month of July. And I really did actually see some of these most incredible and profound life-changing moments for some of you. The dream job finally landing, finding out that you're going to be expecting that you're going to welcome a beautiful life into this earthly plane, into this world. Moments where everything feels synced up, like all the pieces that you have been working to bring together are finally in the right space, and just feeling that elation that comes with that. I also saw like a garden in full bloom, like that nurturing element of our home, our foundations, our happy places, and just seeing that tenderness and that care that you have given to something finally bloom. And so these profound moments are setting a trajectory for us. And it's important that we stay with this. We stay in these moments despite what's happening out there, despite, the flustering or maybe even the moments of chaos that we're seeing unfold. So we're kind of in this reminder period that new life will always emerge, and hope lives here. It lives here within us, within these moments. And it is a reminder of possibility. There is always, always a possibility. That can never be taken. And so that reminder can be found in some of these special moments in life. And there was a message around actually the past 2 years, so 2024 and 2025. So 2024 was the year of the wood dragon, and 2025 was the year of the wood snake. So these earth elements tied with a serpent, tied with that energy, that primordial energy that lives deep within us. And the dragon and the serpent are traditionally, historically back thousands of years ago, associated with that feminine power, that creative power, that rage that lives inside of us, that when it is transmuted, when it is channeled, it is incredibly powerful. It can create, this idea of destruction. It can also, from that, create life. And so there was a message around, these 2 years that maybe there was a dream that was lost over these 2 years, or it was put on the shelf, it was put aside. And we're coming back to that. We're coming back to that dream that was tabled for a different time. This is the invitation in the month of July. It is to come back to this point. It is to connect with that solar power, that fire energy. So even though those 2 years in the Chinese zodiac were earth-based, those creatures are very much tied to the different elements that we all carry. And that includes water and fire and air and ultimately ether. They all are interconnected. And so in those 2 years that you were really kind of anchoring in, like grounding, I think anchoring is going to be a theme word for this episode because I find myself saying it over and over again. And so maybe in those 2 years, you were really in the thick of, the material world, weeding, like literally weeding, like pulling weeds, like you are just in there. And the dream maybe was lost in space and it was put aside. But right now you're being invited back to that place. So if you journal or you have even like photos from those years, maybe spend some time to go back and look, because I'm sensing that you've completely forgotten about this dream. Like you really wrote it off, like this is never going to happen kind of situation. And source spirit is telling you need to go back there. You need to go back and revisit. So go back in time if you can and reflect on those moments in your life. Okay. So I don't know, I guess I don't know what the right way to describe this. I wasn't going to say power animal, but essentially the spirit guide, the messenger for the month of July is the spider. And she is the guide that shows us that we are the weaver. We are the creator of our own life. And the spider woman is a goddess or a guide that is often referred to for this precise energetic imprint, weaving life, creating life, knowing that part of that cycle of life does require closure. It does require death. It does require saying goodbye to something. And so there was this tug and pull, again, coming back to that spectrum of emotion, spectrum of the human experience, where we have strength. We have strength to move through the things that we need to move through. We are not offered or given anything that we cannot handle. And on the other side, this strength is counterbalanced with elasticity, with our ability to expand, with our ability to open ourselves to moments of change where we do actually have to push ourselves into the next level. We have to push ourselves past something that has been holding us back, that deep fear, that deeply rooted fear. And so the spider is offering us this moment in time. Truly, she is a weaver of time. And you get to cast your own web of life in this moment. So this might be the coming back to the dream that was put aside. But your cast has reach. It does. It can go far. It is able to set a place for things to land. So moving past that fear, moving past what has been holding you back, and begin to truly weave the life that you are ready to live. So 2 of the questions that came forward when I connected with the spider and her energy for the month of July is, as you sit in this space, as you see what is unfolding around you, what is the world showing you? What is the world showing you? If you've ever walked up to a spider web and observed their behavior, where the web is set, how they are almost invincible until you get right up to them. They are observers. They are taking in the surroundings. They are thoughtful. They are calculated. They are strong and adjustable. When the wind comes along and blows them, they do not fight. They go with it. They allow themselves to spin a new web and move on to the next destination. What is the world showing you in this moment? Look at that from the lens of this beautiful guide. The second question being, what wisdom can I offer the world? What wisdom can I offer the world? There has been this reclusiveness that you have adapted or taken on in your life. So you've either kind of, fell into place with the people around you, or you've intentionally withheld yourself, but you have closed yourself off from the world. And there is incredible wisdom that you have to offer. And so this is the moment where you're being asked, what is that wisdom? What is that wisdom that is ready to be shared with the world? This is a time to find your unique expression. This is it. It is your time to fully be expressed and express yourself. Remember that you can and will weather the externalities, the harsh landscape of the world. You will be able to move through it. It might not look easy. It might not be easy, but you will weather. The rain, the wind, the fire, it will not move you. You must simply be set. You need to root into your foundational pieces. And once that is done, once you have taken a hold of your place, honored and loved your truth, you will be immovable. Not that you will be so stern or sterile that you're immovable, but you will be truly in your own ownership. You will be owning you. That is what I mean by that. Some more messages that came through. The light will always shine. When I was tapping into just the collective world, I was seeing moments of shadows and I was seeing glimmers of light. And there are certain parts of the world that are going to experience different, challenges, I guess is another word that keeps coming to me in the month of July. And it is the bearers of light that will continue to hold that space for everyone around them. And that is, the cycle of life where there are moments where you might not be in that capacity and someone else is. This reciprocity that we offer to one another as humans, as souls, as beings that share this space, this planet together. This is the reciprocity, the love that we need to continue to offer to one another. So if you are the light bearer for the month of July, someday, some point, someone else will do the same for you. And so I did see this exchange happening where we are in a moment of an act of service. We are being called to be in a moment, to be in our offering of service to others. And so maybe that actually looks like a true moment where you're offering something to someone else, a helping hand. Maybe it is just reaching out to someone that you know, someone you don't know, but being in that place of service. because somebody across the way needs your light, needs that support. And eventually, that reciprocity, that symbiotic relationship will return itself throughout the collective. Okay, a few more messages. There are incredible opportunities for new leadership. The new vision is here. The new vision is here. So, what is leadership to you? Where are the microcosms of leadership in your life? Is it in your home? Is it in your community? Is it in your job? Is it in your friendship circle? Is it in your book club, your cooking club? Wherever that might be, where is this new vision of leadership coming forward for you? Continue to fill your heart with the goodness of life. The smallest, most special moments that we connect with in this life is where magic lives. It might sound trivial. It really might. And that's okay. I'm okay with that because truly it is these micro moments, these microcosms of our lives that build the richness of what we call living. And so I encourage you to hold on to the goodness, hold on to the sweetness, the juiciness. Magic will always exist. It will always exist, and it is always present. You just have to open your eyes and your heart to see it. That's it. It is there. It hasn't gone anywhere. It's always been there. Another message that came through was simplicity will show you a new side. It will show you a new side. Life doesn't have to be complicated to be joyful. It doesn't have to be, stacked to the brim to feel full. Simplicity is like the new currency. Where is that happening for you? Where can you invite it into your life? I mentioned this before, but one of the specific messages that came through is it's time to dust off what has been sitting on a shelf. That dream that has been tabled, that vision that's been bottled up and put away because you've been too afraid to walk towards it. It's time to open it up. It's time to share that wisdom. It's time to bring it forward. And so 2 of the last messages that came through for the month of July is really just, I guess that's one of them, is take a deep breath. July is complicated. It is, friends. It's complicated. There is a lot of motions happening, and we can make a choice to get caught up in those motions, or we can make a choice to root into our joy. And there are going to be moments where you get carried away with the wind. And then there's going to be the other moments where you're going to realize what's happening and you're going to make the other choice. And that's okay. So just have compassion and grace for the month of July, for yourself, for the world, what's happening. And when all else fails, when everything just feels like it is just a hot mess express, I want you to take a hot shower, turn on your favorite jam, and sing. Like, seriously, just sing that song that gets you moving, that gets your heart pumping, that makes you want to just dance and be silly and have fun. This is our reprieve. And you know what? If you are up for it, do it in public. Share it with the rest of us. Invite us to the dance party. Maybe it's silent disco. Maybe it's a concert. I don't know what it is, but song was the choice of medicine for the month of July. Listen to the birds, sing a song, dance, find your favorite artist, just move the energy, move it. Use your voice, use the melody, find it in your body. And the last message, really, I think that it comes down to control and power. And this month might feel like you are out of control. It might feel like the world is out of control. And I'm not saying that that's not going to happen, but you have power to make decisions. You have power in the choices that you live. And don't forget that. That's what this month is all about. Don't forget the power of choice in how you live your life. Don't forget the power of choice in how you treat other people. Don't forget the power of choice. Just don't. You are a beautiful, authentic beam of light, and that is always available to you. So keep at it. And I did pull a card for the month of July, and it is from the Earth Alchemy Oracle deck. It is legitimately one of my favorite decks that I use a lot. And I actually recently pulled this card. I was in Iceland a couple weeks ago, and this card came up. And so here we are again. You know, you can't hide. You can run, but you can't hide from the spirit guides. Okay, friends, there's my song for you. The card that I pulled for you, for the collective, is the Lava Stone and Red Hot Poker. It says on the card, "My body is a safe space, transmuting, breaking down barriers and realizations." This is a fire card. So the card actually shows like lava rock. There's this beautiful kind of dark element that's happening on the base of the ground. And then through it is this red lava that's running through it. And growing from that lava is the red hot poker plant. So we have this transmutation. That is one of the words on this card, but the alchemy, again, coming back to that fire element, looking at dragon, and also looking at that earth element, right? When lava comes out of the earth, it is hot, it is burning, it does destroy, but ultimately it creates a new form. It creates this lava rock. And that was actually something that was so incredible to see in Iceland. Most of the land is lava rock. It is uneven, it is textured, it's covered in moss. It has these different earth elements that grow from it in different places depending on how old the lava rock is. And so the idea of this red hot poker plant being able to grow from something that was once on fire is the message that we are working with, the energy we are working with for the month of July. We are going to be dealing with a lot of things, but ultimately, life will bloom. There is always possibility for something. We live in a cycle of life, rebirth, death, and it is all meant to happen. So the little booklet that goes with this card says lava stone is one of the oldest and most abundant minerals. It assists in transmuting keys of raw fire through you, rebirthing you to a new stage, time, and way of being. It helps you release old emotions and unhealthy attachments as you birth into a higher frequency of light and higher streams of consciousness. Its energy comes in a masculine frequency, a champion of action, power, focus, and activation. It will root you into the ground as fast change happens around and within you, bringing strength and courage. grounding, calming, and strengthening your connection to Mother Earth. It will stabilize your mental and emotional body, anchoring, oh my God, there's that word, anchoring you through the root and earth star chakra. Lava Stone speaks, I was born of the fires of earth. You were born of the fires of the source of this multiverse. You have those fires within your heart with the power to alchemize and transmute. Time to ignite all the flames within you to bring forward truth, enlightenment, and a deeper understanding. Perhaps you do not feel at home in your body. We eject out of the body sometimes, often to hide from the hurts we need to face. The more we do that, the more our body does not feel like a safe space. Lava Stone teaches us to stand in the fire, even when it's uncomfortable. It isn't all intense inner healing work. It's also motivated to help bring you success, creating more opportunities for abundance, which follows after you have stepped into the fire with it and faced a few truths. I love this message. It just shows once again that all of these elements are working together to bring us into a more aligned path as individuals and as a collective society. So working with the element of fire, working with the element of earth and air and water, they are all incredibly important elements as we move through the month of July. I wanted to read just a quick note on the red hot poker flower as well, because I'm not super familiar with that flower. And I think it's interesting that it's just connected here with these different elements. It says its energy climbs high through your sacral, solar plexus, and heart chakra as it rises through you and settles in your heart, where it works to break down barriers you may have put up to protect yourself. It focuses on all hurts, but specifically on abuse, whether it is emotional, mental, or physical, which may have left you with the inability to feel. Its medicine opens you up to warmth and caring from others, so healing can happen. That really resonated with me as I came back to those messages around service, continuing to hold the light, remembering that we are all interconnected, that we have this beautiful symbiotic relationship, and we're here to support one another through our human experience. So that is the energy for the month of July. I hope that there are moments in these messages that you can see the profoundness of your magic and the nudging and the reminder that it is ready to emerge and be shared with the world. So sending you so much love in the month of July, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Thanks for listening. Bye. Thank you, love, for being here. May you walk forward guided by the wild wisdom of your soul and the truth of your heart. To find me beyond the podcast, you can join my newsletter at soulbabe.com for continual updates on offerings and other teachings, or subscribe to the Gracefully Wild Soul Substack. Until next time.